Hello everybody, my name is Michael. You know me as Coding Jungle, and today I want to explain the chat bar in Babble 3.0. Because there are two views in Babble, and this is one of them. The other view, we'll call it the legacy view. But the chat bar is the default view for new Babble installs, and on the upgrade, like I said, you can disable it and go with the legacy view if you prefer that view. But I'd like to explain the chat bar view for people who are interested in it but might not fully understand it. Now, the basic concept behind the chat bar view is one of your operating system. We're all familiar, regardless if you use Windows, Mac OS, or like me who use Linux, you have some kind of GUI, most of the time, you have some kind of GUI interface for your applications, and those applications open up in Windows, and you can move them about, resize them, close them, that sort of thing. That's basically the concept behind the chat bar here. You have your rooms open up in their own window, and you can pin them if you want. And what pinning does is it keeps it in that part of the screen. Like, so if you were to scroll, the chat window would remain there wherever you pinned it at. And when I mean that, you can move it, and its new pin location, if it's pinned, will update. So if you have it pinned over here and you go to another page, like we go over here, so we go to leaderboard, as you can see, it opened back up exactly where it was to the size that we had it. So if we were to make the size smaller and we went back to the forums, it would, it inherited the size from the previous time. And again, like I said, you can move it about. And if I had I don't know if I've got anywhere that's, well, there's one way to make the screen big enough or small enough, because this is a 4K. That's one downside to 4K. No, we do not want global view. Alright, so we've got this here. So we got a scroll bar. That's what pinning does. So if I was to unpin this, the chat window would move as I scroll, but if I was to pin it again, it would stay there. And that's basically what it does. And like I said, if you move the window, it updates its position. So, excuse me. That's the idea behind the pinning. Now, like I said, you can close these windows out, and you can also minimize the chat bar itself. And it will always remain closed. So, well, it'll always remain closed based, if you don't have it open. So if you closed it on the previous page and you went to the next page, it would remain closed, and then you could just open it back up by clicking the connect icon here. And I do plan on making that more obvious before release. So if that's confusing or not apparent, I understand. I am aware of that. All right, so like I said, you have your your online list. Let's say you pin your online list. Now I know not everybody's going to have 4K here. Probably either at 2K or at 1080. So, but this is the general idea that I had with the chat bar. Let's say I pin my online list here, and I open up my window and I put it underneath it here. So now my online list, let's switch their place, because the online list will grow depending on how many people are online. So let's say I keep my one window open that I want to keep open. And I want and they are sticky. They do stick to each other to a certain extent. So I have them both pinned over here. So regardless of how much actual screen size I have, so let's do that. Limit again. Let's not make it so. Let's keep the online list in view. Let's say I go to another site. Now these will reopen and resize to what they were before. and then I can scroll them, but my chat windows and my online list always stays open. That way I can see who's coming in and going. I could set it to the side there, and on a 4K that makes sense. Whoa. But on 1080p, it might not have enough room to have them side by side without covering up. And if this is at full width, like I think Stratagem, I think I got a project here that's full width, or I can set it to full width. Oh, come on. I was testing Stratagem earlier and I forgot to turn off the sockets. But we could turn both of those off. Disable real time mode, and let's go with max width. So yeah, if you got a max width theme, this might not actually be a good idea, but most people aren't going to have max width themes, so it's a compromise, I would say. But yeah, it basically allows you to keep them open and move them to anywhere on the screen you want, or you just close them out if you don't need them. And then the other settings, like you can change the position of it. Like if you want it at the bottom, you can have it at the bottom, or like Windows here. And if you want to close it out, you can, and it will hide itself over here. And if you get new messages sent to the room while it's closed, there will be a notification icon here that says, "Oh, you got one pending." It won't say one pending, but it will be a little icon, a little red icon that has a number in it. And then when you click it open, it will show you which room has the actual messages. So if you have multiple rooms, including private messages or private rooms and whispers, it will show which one has the notification for it. And like I said, there are 4 positions like top, left, right. I prefer it on the right because I'm a right-handed individual, so it just makes sense to have it on the right. But it's also been designed not to actually cover up anything on the screen here, so it pushes the body over top, bottom, left, or right. It gives it that spacing, so it's not covering up anything. So it tries to be as little intrusive as it possibly can. That's why you can minimize it, reclaim that space if you need it, and have your online list and your access to your home row here for settings. All right, so I hope that clears up some things. If you have any questions, let me know. You guys have a good day now.